Hi everyone, this is Debbie with BookAndBuJo. Welcome if you're new, welcome back if you've been here before, and thank you so much for joining me for my June TBRopoly. Before we find out how June TBRopoly is going to treat me, let's see how I did in May. My first roll was an odd card, and that was to read a book with a green cover, and for that I read A Twist of the Blade by S.M. Gaither, the second book in the Shadows and Crowns series. My next roll was an Amazon borrow, and I rolled a 10, and for that I read Table for Five by Izzy Bromley. Roll number 3 was a NetGalley book, and I got A Wonderful Christmas Crime by Jacqueline Frost, and this is the 6th book in the Christmas Tree Farm Mysteries, and technically I'm starting that today. But I will be done by the time May is over because there's still a week left and I will definitely have that finished. Next was an even card, and that was to read a J.R.R. Tolkien book, and I read Beren and Luthien, and that is the second book in the Tales from Middle-earth. My 5th roll was an odd, and that was to read a book that you keep putting off, and for that I am currently reading and am almost done with None of the Ninth by Tamsin Muir, the 3rd book in the Locked Tomb series. And then my 6th and final roll was an odd card, and that was to read a book with nature on the cover. And for that I read Nightmare Abbey by Thomas Love Peacock. So I completed my TBR, or I will have by the time this week is over and June starts. And that means I get a reward. Let's see what I got. I finished my TBR for May, so that means I get to draw a reward. And so I have decided to bring rewards and punishments back in. I got some great suggestions when I asked in one of my last videos. So I did come up with some rewards here. I have remove one roll of your choice, ignore doubles, triple up one book for 3 prompts, pick a reward from someone else's game, can do one re-roll or repick one prompt, and then switch one prompt for a mood read or a book club book. So I'm going to shuffle these around so I don't know what I'm getting. So whatever this top one is, triple up, one book for 3 prompts. Awesome. All right, so I chose my reward and I got triple up, one book for 3 prompts. That'll be nice. Let's go ahead and see how many rolls I will be doing. Since I have a big readathon in June, Camp SeasonAthon, check it out if you haven't done so already. I'll leave the announcement video down below for you. And so I'm going to roll the D10, and let's go ahead and see what I'm going to get for how many rolls I will be doing. 10! Figured, but I can do that. All right, so we go back to the regular die for the rolls themselves, and then this is where I ended the game in May, so that's where I will start in June. Well, I mean, I asked for it. I rolled my D10 instead of the D8. I got the 10. Fingers crossed that I won't get very many doubles. Let's hope. All right, let's go right into roll number 1. Roll number 1 of 10. Of course, we start with doubles. Why not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that is an even card. And that is to read a physical book. Of course, we have to start with a double. Really? Really? Thanks, TBRopoly game. Thanks. And for that I did get an even card, and that was to read a physical book. And for that I am planning, because I don't have the ebook, and I'm probably not going to purchase it this month anyway. So I will probably get it from the library, and I will be reading Wrath by John Gwynne, the 4th and final book in the Faithful and the Fallen series. Roll 2 of 11. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another even card. Read the next in a series. Okay, roll number 2. A little more like it, thank you. But it's another even card, and that is to read the next book in a series. And for that, I plan on reading A Court of Mist and Fury, the second book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses, or ACOTAR, series by Sarah J. Maas. Roll 3 of 11. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is another even card. and that is to read a nonfiction. See if a nonfiction will fit with any of my readathon prompts. Roll number 3, another even card. That's 3 in a row. Interesting. And that is to read a nonfiction. And for that, I'm going to go with the BuJo Buddies Book Club book pick, and that is The Dose Effect by T.J. Power. All right, roll 4 of 11. Hopefully we don't get all even cards. That'd be kind of boring. Let's see. 3. 1, 2, 3. Readathons. Perfect. That means I get to put a Readathon book on here. Next, I landed on the Readathon spot, which is perfect because then I could actually pick a book that's going to be on my June Readathon for Camp SeasonAthon. And I chose The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axie O. Okay, roll 5 of 11. Okay, we're not moving far. 1, 2, but we did get to add another roll, and it's yet another even card. Read or listen to an audiobook. Oh, that'll be a good one. Roll number 5. Of course. Another double. That's 2. That's fine. I can do 12 books. It's okay. But it's another even card. That's 4 now. But that is to read an audiobook. And for this one, I am planning on reading The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay. All right, roll 6 of 12 now. What are the odds of getting the exact same double 2 times in a row? All right, 1, 2. Booktuber wreck. Oh, that'll be an easy one. Okay, now we're up to 13. Another double, seriously. 2 in a row? What are you doing to me, TBRopoly? Why? So that's 3. Now we're up to 13, but that's okay. I can do it. I landed on Booktuber wreck. And actually this is perfect because then I can read the group book for Camp SeasonAthon, which is recommended by Completely Melanie. And that is The Savior's Champion by Jenna Marici. And this is the first book in the Savior series. And I am very looking forward to reading it. Okay, roll 7 of 13. That is a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's an odd card this time. A book with sprayed edges. Okay, now we're back to normal again, doing better. So we got an odd card, so not another even, no doubles. And that is to read a book with sprayed edges. And for that, I plan on reading, it's upside down, The Dragon Bone Chair by Tad Williams. It has these beautiful sprayed edges, black on top and bottom, my favorite color. And then this gorgeous sword. And I know what you're thinking, I should have doubled up my physical book with the sprayed edges, you know, because for my triple up reward, but wait, I got something else figured out for that. Okay, roll 8 of 13. You have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A NetGalley book. Roll number 8, I landed on NetGalley book. So I went through NetGalley to see what kind of looked interesting, and I did find one that I really would love to read because I love everything I've read from Ryan Holiday. And they had Wisdom Takes Work, which is his book that's coming out in October of this year. And it is the 4th book in the Stoic Virtues series. And I am really looking forward to reading that. So that's what I'm going to go with. Wisdom Takes Work by Ryan Holiday. Okay, roll a 9 of 13. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A challenge card. Listen to a podcast. Roll number 9, we got a challenge card. And that is to listen to a podcast. And that's pretty good because I have quite a few podcasts saved up that I want to listen to. I mean, there's a lot of the Planner Pal podcasts with Mark from Mark Your Pages and Jess from Jashi Curran, and those are always so much fun to listen to. But there's also some other thyroid, autoimmune disease podcasts that I would like to listen to as well. Move to roll 10 of 13. We have 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Amazon borrows, so that's my Prime Reading library. Okay, so we will roll my 10-sided die, because there's 10 books in my library, so we'll see which one I get. That would be a 5. Let's see what that is. All right, so here is all the books in my Prime library. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Burning Witch by Delham Hawk. Ooh, that's a long one. Roll number 10, I landed on Amazon Borrows, and that is the Prime Reading Library, and I rolled a 5, which means I will be reading The Burning Witch by Delham Hawk, and this is the first book in this series. And I was supposed to read this in April, but I ended up swapping it with something else, so I didn't read it. So now I can read it. All right, now we're on to the bonus rolls here. So roll 11 of 13. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. A series. That's a good one too. Caraval. All right, it's a good time to get to the next one for that. Okay, that should have been my last roll, but no, of course, doubles. Got 3, so now I'm up to roll number 11, and I landed on series. And for this one, I have to read the next in the series for Caraval, or Caraval, however you want to say it, and that's by Stephanie Garber. And I am up to the second book in the series, which is Legendary. So far, I don't feel like I've gotten any of my readathon books on here but 1 or 2. We'll see how it goes, and I'm getting some random ones that, Okay, anyway, roll 12 of 13. Okay, 12 of 14 now. That's a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, a 10. A Kindle backlist book, which is good because the Back to Kindle readathon is in June as well. TBRopoly, you done me dirty. Got roll number 12. You gave me more doubles. That's 4. 4 doubles now. It's been a while since you've been this mean to me. This one I landed on Kindle backlist, which is good because the Back to Kindle readathon is in June, so that'll be helpful. And for this one, I'm going to read Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia Fairies by Heather Fawcett, and this is the first book in the Emily Wilde series. I've had this on my Kindle for quite a while now, and I really need to read it. All right, roll 13 of 14 now. 3, I'll take it. 1, 2, 3, and that's an odd card. Most recent purchase. Roll number 13, which again would have been my last one, but yet no. Had to get another double. I landed on odd card this time, and that was to read your most recent purchase, which is fun because I'm super excited to read this one. It just sounds so cute, and that is Scales and Sensibility, and this is by Stephanie Burgess, and it's the first book in the Regency Dragons series, and it just is so cute. This is supposed to be a Sense and Sensibility retelling, and it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to read it. Okay, now hopefully this is the last one. So roll 14 of 14. One, 2, 3, 4, even card. And that is to read an ebook. Well, that's a good one. We got a physical, an ebook, and an audiobook all in the same game. TBRopoly. Why you gotta give me another double? That's 5. 5 doubles in one game. It's been a long time since it's been this mean. And it's another even. That's crazy. Okay, but that is to read an ebook. And that should be pretty good towards Back to Kindle readathon as well. And for this one, I am going to choose Wisdom Takes Work by Ryan Holiday, the 4th book in the Stoic Virtues series. Okay, I know I was setting myself up for this by asking for more rolls. Okay, here we go. Roll 15 of 15. Yay! 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another even card. And that is to read a book about business. Oh, goodness. All right, so, yeah, the TBRopoly game gave me a nice reward and then done me a little dirty with all the doubles. Nothing like 5 doubles to start and end the game, right? And not really help me with my readathon, but that's okay. And then lastly, roll 15, thank you. That was the last one. I didn't get any more doubles because that was crazy. But yet again, another even card. That's crazy. And that is to read a business book. And I'm sure you're going to see where I'm going here. I'm going to read Wisdom Takes Work by Ryan Holiday. And that's the book I'm going to use my reward on, which is to triple up one book for 3 prompts. And thank you so much to everyone who suggested some great rewards and punishments for my game, and they were very creative, and there are some great ones in there, and I can't wait to use all of them. Okay, so that's the 15 books on my TBRopoly TBR game. So the ones I have to read in the month are those 15. Let's see how many I can fit into my 15 prompts from my other readathons. Let's find out. All right, BuJo Buddies Book Club, we are reading The Dose Effect by T.J. Powers. For the Catch-Up Book Club, we are reading Wrath by John Gwynne, the 4th book in the Faithful and the Fallen series. For Game of Tomes with Carolyn Marie Reads, we are reading East of Eden by John Steinbeck. Now, luckily, I've already read that one. For the Hardcore Literature Book Club with Benjamin McAvoy, we are reading 1984 by George Orwell. Luckily, already read that one. And then we're also reading Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. Have not read that, so I will add that one to my list. For the Wellread Book Club, I'm not sure yet what we're reading. I have not seen, so that one's kind of an up in the air one. For the Dragon and Draconathon Book Club, don't know what we're reading for that yet either. That's Jade Juniper and Celine. Last month we did read Black Leviathan. That was really good, by Burned Purpleys. That was really good. Moby Dick retelling. And then for the Thomas Howell Book Club, also not sure what we're reading yet, but I will leave links to all of these down below in case you would like to join in the book clubs as well. For the new read-along that I'm doing, since I just finished the Wheel of Time read-along with Sandra from Got a Thing for Things, I am now doing the Three Swords along with Erin from Booked and Busy, and we are reading The Dragonbone Chair by Tad Williams, and this is the first book in the Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn series. And of course, the Three Swords along. You can kind of see them up here too. Here's the other books that have the swords on. All right, year-long readathons. Here we go. Buzzwordathon with Kayla from Books and Lala. For the word prompt, it's memory words. So like remember, forget, memory, remembrance, I don't know, things like that. I must say it's a little bit cheating, but no, she said we could use subtitles and things like that. So I am going to use the series name and read The Dragonbone Chair by Tad Williams, which is the Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn series. And then for the cover prompt, you have to have a celestial cover, so moon, sun, stars, things like that on the cover itself. And for this one, I'm actually going to do a reread because I just got a mashup of all of the books in the series in one on my Kindle. But it's the first book that has this on there, so I'll just have the cover up here for you, and that is Insanity by Cameron Jace. And this is the first book in the series, and this is an Alice in Wonderland retelling, and I loved it. I think I've read the first 2 books in the series, but I'm going to start over from the beginning. So good. It's so interesting. Love it. It's a little dark and twisted and very good. Year in Aldia by Gia Bookroast. Now, for Ariel, she is moving from 5B to 6E, and that is Water Demons. Must have water on the cover. And for this, I'll be reading The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axie O. For Karasu, he's moving from 5C to 6C. That is You Meet an Odd Impling. Read a weird, odd, or unusual book. And actually, I could probably use Insanity for this one. Definitely. By Cameron Jace, the first book in the Insanity series. Will definitely work for this one. I could also read, if I wanted to, it's a little shorter. There's a little novella in the House Witch series by Dellum Hawk, and it's called Kraken's Guide to the House Witch, and this is told from the perspective of the cat. TBR Knockout with Completely Melanie. It's Pride Month, so the theme is Pride. The first prompt is to read an LGBTQIA+ book, and for that I will be reading Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. And this is the first book in the UMCH, and the second one is to read a trans or a non-binary book. And so for this one, you could read anything in the Murderbot Diaries by Martha Wells, but I'm going to go with a Becky Chambers book and read the second book in the Monk and Robot series, which is A Prayer for the Crown Shy. Either book in that duology would work for this prompt. And now we have the year-long Gooberathon with Jess from Jashi Curran. The first prompt is Rose, a beauty. So pick a book by its cover, and for that I will be reading The Dragonbone Chair by Tad Williams, because I think that is stunning. Like, that is impressive. I love that. But you also have this as well, which is quite beautiful. Honeysuckle, devotion. That's the second prompt that you only have to do one of them. Read the last book in a series. And for that, I'll be reading Wrath by John Gwynne, the fourth book in the Faithful and the Fallen series. And now for Camp SeasonAthon by Completely Melanie. And I'm in the turquoise cabin, so I have slightly different prompts than those in the pink or purple cabins. And if you would like to still join, there's time. So make sure you fill out the submission form down below to say you want to be part of Camp SeasonAthon, and Melanie will put you in a cabin and let you know what color you're in. So the first prompt for us turquoise cabins, you can read the prompts in any order. You don't have to like start at the top of the page and go to the bottom or anything like that. You can jump around all over the place. But for me, the first one here on my list is The Outhouse. Lowest rated on Goodreads. Well, for that, I'm going to be reading The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay, which with a Goodreads rating of 3.33, and that's the lowest rated of the books that I have access to. And next we have the cabins. Each cabin host will be having sprints, and you can join in your cabin's sprints. And mine will be on June 1st at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as well as one on June 15th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will have all the dates in the description box below as well for you. Next we have The Dining Hall. Read a book with food on the cover. And for this one, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett, the first book in the Emily Wilde series, and there is mushrooms galore on the cover. Next we have The Main Office, and that is to read a book with found family, and I will be reading A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, the second book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. The Assembly Hall. This is where we all gather together and we read the group book, and that is The Savior's Champion by Jenna Marici, the first book in the Saviors series. The Fire Pit. Again, we get to all come together for this one, and we join in either both or at least one of them if you can, and that's the author live show, and that is at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Melanie's channel on June 28th, as well as the after party on June 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, again on Melanie's channel. Then let's move on over to the garden and read a book with flowers on the cover. And I will be reading Scales and Sensibility by Stephanie Burgess, and this is the first book in the Regency Dragon series. And it's hard to tell, but there are flowers all down in here as well as over in this area. It's kind of hard to see on the Kindle book, but yeah, right there. Next is Archery. Read a book with a weapon on the cover. And for that, I'm reading Wrath by John Gwynne, the fourth book in the Faithful and the Fallen series. Next is The Canteen, a small book or a graphic novel. For this, I'm going to be reading Saga Volume 10 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. The Lake. Read a book with a body of water in the title, and I'll be reading The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axio. Beach Volleyball, a book set outdoors. A Prayer for the Crown Shy by Becky Chambers, the second book in the Monk and Robot series. Woodshop. Read a book with a building on the cover, and I will be reading There's Something About Mira by Sonali Dev, and there's kind of a skyline back here, so a bunch of buildings back in there. Basketball Court. Book has a sport. I'll be reading Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, and this is the first book in the UCMH series. Dance Studio, Freestyle, Mood Read, and for this one, who knows? We'll see. I will probably pick something off of my TBR because I need to with 15 books on it. So maybe The Dose Effect or Wisdom Takes Work. Those would both be good ones for it. The Burning Witch also, because I don't have that anyplace else, as well as Legendary too. So probably Legendary or The Burning Witch, one of those two. We'll see how I feel when we get to it. Climbing Wall, an intimidating read. And for that, I will be reading The Dragonbone Chair by Tad Williams, the first book in the Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn series, because I mean, yeah. It's a big one. I feel like it's going to take some brain work. So looking forward to it, but a little intimidated. And then lastly, for the turquoise cabin, we have The Pottery Studio, a book with hands on the cover. And for that, I will be reading Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. And lastly, we have Back to Kindle Readathon. And that is created by Reading with Rylan and Readers C. And this year, it's kind of a cozy camping theme, which worked out really well with Camp SeasonAthon. And there's 4 different prompts. So 1 prompt per week for the month of June, and you get extra points if you read it during that week, which is kind of fun. And you get a certain amount of points for however many pages the book is. So 1 point if it's less than 100 pages, 2 points if it's anywhere from 101 to 200 pages, 3 points for 201 to 300, etc. as you go. And then for 6 points, it's 501 pages on up. So you don't get more if you read an 800-page book, but oh, you also get an extra point for the mini mission. I'm not sure what that is yet. We'll see when that comes out in the readathon. So we start with, for week 1, The Cozy Home, a comfort or nostalgic read. There's a couple I could go with for this one. I'm kind of thinking either The Burning Witch by Dellum Hawk, because that's a nice cozy fantasy, or I could go with the nostalgic read and read Insanity, the first book in the Insanity series by Cameron Chase, and I loved this series, so yeah, nostalgic vibes would be great. So for the Back to Kindle readathon, you don't have to have a Kindle to read. That's just what they use for the name. So it's pretty much any ebook, any kind of e-reader that you have, if it's your phone or your computer, doesn't matter. Just any kind of ebook or digital book. Okay, week 2, we move into The Stormy Mountains. And this one is an intense and emotional or a high stakes read. And there's a couple options for this one too. So I think Insanity could work for this one as well, because there's some high stakes in that one. Maybe there's something about Mira. This one might be an emotional read. I'm not sure. I try not to read the synopsis and descriptions of the books. I like going in blind. So maybe one of those would work. Okay, week 3 is The Wondrous Caves. And this one is to read a book that sparks creativity or imagination. Oh, and I'm thinking this one would probably be one that would do that for me. And again, 2 options, but Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. That's one. The other one is Scales and Sensibility by Stephanie Burgess. So one of those 2. And lastly, we have, for the 4th week of June, we have Wild Woods. Read a book out of your normal comfort genre or trope. There's a couple ways I could go with this one, but I feel like I've been reading a lot of classics lately, and I don't know if I want to put even more on there. We'll see. But I will probably go, because nonfiction is not my normal genre. I do try and read one every month. Doesn't always work, but I do try. Again, 2 options. We can go with The Dose Effect by TJ Power, or I can do Wisdom Takes Work by Ryan Holiday. So one of those 2. Now, of course, every ebook that you read counts towards the readathon, but those ones are the main prompts to kind of get you going. The goal is to just read as many ebooks as you can, kind of clear the dust off of your e-shelves and get some books read. And I think that is all I have for June. For now. We'll see. Haven't had Suffer-a-thon come through yet, so I'm not sure what that prompt is. So we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to all of the books that are on my TBR. I'm just not sure if I'll have the time to read them all. But we do have mini sprints to go to in June to help us get through all of these books. And I will leave the dates for all 3 of the host sprints down in the description box below in case you would like to join in on any of them. Doesn't matter what cabin you're in, you can still join in all of the sprints, as well as the live show, the after hours party, and all of that fun stuff. So come on over to Camp SeasonAthon and be put into one of the cabins, and then just read to your heart's content. Thank you so much for joining me today as I took a chance with TBRopoly and 5 doubles. We'll see how that goes. And I would love to know what readathons you are participating in June, and just what are your plans for June. I can't wait to see what books everyone's going to be reading, and please let me know down in the comments. And until next time, keep reading. Bye.